Episode 9, Responsibility. The study at Wayne Manor. A crackling fire can be heard. Alfred keeps himself busy, dusting and rearranging the books on the shelf, while I sit in thought with my eyes closed. A grandfather clock ticks.
It's nearly 5 o'clock, Master Bruce. Perhaps we should adjourn to the Batcave and prepare for tonight's patrol.
No. I wanted to listen to Vale's show.
You know, even as a child, when I would try to persuade you to look away, when I cleaned your scrape knee, you would always insist on looking. You said you didn't want to let your fears get the better of you.
You still tried to get me to look away, because you were afraid it would hurt me even more.
I've always tried to shield you as best as I can, from the pain of the world, or just a scraped knee. But how does one protect you? You who have seen the very worst the world has to offer.
You've done your best, old friend. Some things can't be avoided, and this is one of them. Besides, I still think there's some truth to what I said all those years ago.
Very well, Master Bruce. I'll tune the television to Miss Vale's program. I'll leave you to it, Master Bruce.
Thank you. But I would prefer it if you stayed all the same.
As you wish.
The Gotham City Radio News Office.
Good evening, and thank you for joining me, Vicky Vale, for a special televised program. Tonight, we have an entire show dedicated to reporting on the striking new turn of events with the criminal Batman. But first, a quick recap for those of you unfamiliar with the so-called Vigilante's sordid past. The Batman has been operating out of Gotham for 6 years. In that time, the number of successful mob crimes has dropped significantly. However, an unprecedented number of psychologically challenged individuals have turned to extreme measures. Citizens are now plagued with both the criminal activity and delusions of individuals who require the care and attention of professionals. Individuals such as the Joker have pushed the police force to their limits with criminal activities that often put the entire city at risk. All of these can be directly linked to the actions of the Batman, the crime fighter who has helped to redefine what is and is not illegal. Up until recently, the Batman has been justified as a necessary evil in the ever-shifting war on crime. Then, 5 months ago, the Batman made his intentions clear. In the words of renowned psychologist Hugo Strange, Batman experienced a psychological break. For the longest time, he defined his existence based on his struggle with crime. But such a paradigm can be detrimental to one's health. Eventually, his mind lost touch with reality. He becomes what he previously hunted. In his mind, he is preventing future criminals from having the opportunity from acting by committing the violence himself. The Batman physically assaulted me on my way home and participated in the release of hundreds of patients at Arkham Asylum. All of this more than justifies the new policy the police have taken to bring the Batman into custody at any cost. But Gotham News has obtained exclusive proof that the Batman sunk to even more despicable measures. More recently, a war has started amongst the members of organized crime. The balance has been upset and the Batman has inevitably become involved in the ensuing turmoil. In one of the more violent episodes, the Black Mask and Batman assaulted local business owner Oswald Cobblepot's nightclub, the Iceberg Lounge. This marked a more personal slant for the Batman's action. Now he has made attacking Mr. Cobblepot his personal mission. Last night, he attacked the privately owned business of Mr. Cobblepot. Gotham News has exclusive security footage detailing the events. Parents with small children should be advised that the following contains graphic violence. As can be seen, the Batman made a direct and personal attack on Mr. Cobblepot and his business. The city of Gotham must now question what kind of role Batman will continue to have in this city. We have a guest panel up to discuss this after the next commercial break.
The Riddler's Interruption, Part 3. A large mansion that is undergoing reconstruction. There are plastic tarps hanging from metal scaffolding. Inside the Riddler, a tall, thin man with auburn brown hair is walking about, calmly placing items into an expensive-looking leather satchel.
20th century. Imitation. It's always impressive how lazy these restoration programs are. Quantity versus quality. Such a shame.
Look, the Riddler came with his own evidence. Not every day a criminal comes with an ironclad case. Hand over the antiques.
How quaint. Loverboy and his date. I must say, you kids will do anything to have fun, but I really don't feel like fighting. Let's skip to the rigorous proof, shall we?
What's your game, Riddler?
No game. Simple logic dictates that even if I engaged one of you in fisticuffs, you would best me. Two of you together turns what was already a certainty into an absolute. I do so abhor violence, especially when it concerns me.
It's never this clear with the Riddler. He has to be up to something. Why go out to all this trouble if he was just going to give up?
We need to get him talking.
How?
He's a narcissist. He loves...
Actually, that isn't quite right. I'm not a narcissist. I'm a tad arrogant, but never narcissistic. The one thing I hate more than an imbecile is a fool who can't tell he's outmatched.
You've never been this cooperative before.
One need only look at the variations in this scenario to see why.
Nothing's different.
He means Batman.
You really are quite ingenious. Not quite at Batman's level, but I imagine that's merely due to experience.
Says the man walking around in a green suit with a question mark tie.
He's playing you. Don't give in.
Give the girl a prize! Don't fret. I can see your puzzled expression. Let me bring you up to speed. Your mentor and I have a certain rapport. He's the only one really worthy of the game. I can't make it easy. Where would the challenge be? I want to best the Batman when he and I are at our best. No offense, kids, but you two are really more like teaching a community college class. Still demonstrative, but absolutely not a true test of my abilities.
Then why let yourself get caught?
There's the right question. Oh, but I think your friend here has almost worked it out, haven't you?
Nightwing, think about it. Everything that's happened. He put clues in plain view that made it obvious that he was involved. Anyone who looked into his history would have figured out he was targeting Bloodsoul. He even robbed a place that had police blockades.
Right again. Now work out the rest.
So why did he do it?
Maybe he has another...
Shh! She
I've almost got
has
it.
Okay. Yeesh. You think she'd say, "Thanks, Nightwing, I couldn't do it without you. You really saved my bacon." Hey, don't worry about it. That's what partners are for.
You're a distraction. But how did you know we would come?
It isn't very difficult to predict people. A simple application of a Markov chain and Brownian motion theory allowed me to create a differential equation to model Nightwing's actions. I used Fourier analysis to create a solution and then used Lagrange multipliers to determine the most likely times and days the Nightwing would be in Bloodhaven. I assumed, given the obvious relationship between you two... Oh, you were trying to hide that. Noted. I assumed that Batgirl would accompany you from Gotham.
Then you were trying to keep us away from Batman.
And the kid pulls it off in the 11th hour. Correct. This whole scheme was to keep you away from Gotham and from helping the Dark Knight.
Why? What's happening to him?
Has he not called in the cavalry? Fits with his past behavior. He is a bit egotistical, but I think we all know he's doing this to keep you from harm, which is probably best given what's planned for him.
What's planned for him? Tell me!
Nightwing, calm down. Remember, he's playing us.
You really are quite good at this. I like you. Someday you may even be as gifted as Batman. I'll have to make a special game for you.
So what are we going to do?
Oh, it's too late to stop it now. But here's a clue. I'm always ready for dinner, whether it's with the President or the Batman. I don't use my arms the way others do, but it doesn't slow me down. Who am I?
The Penguin.
He's after the Batman. We have to hurry.
Officers, this is the man responsible for the robbery and kidnapping Dr. Bloodsoul.
Now, officers. Is it really kidnapping if the person in question never left their office? And steal is such a harsh word for rearranging items. They never left the premises.
If I'm ever such a smart aleck, give me a good punch in the arm. Ooh! Hey, what was that for?
Just making up for the 30 or so times you've already been a smart aleck today.
Takes one to... I mean, we better hurry. Batman needs us.
Yeah, we better.
The Batcave.
Do you want to listen to the rest of the program through the cowl?
No, there's no reason to listen to it any longer. I have work to do.
Isn't it dangerous to go into the city dressed as you are?
No more than any night.
I suppose I shall stop repairing the medical apparatuses now. No doubt you'll come back bruised and battered.
Don't get your hopes up. Vicky Vale's news broadcast continues to play.
And now we introduce our guest panel. We have Mr. Oswald Cobblepot, District Attorney Harvey Dent, Dr. Hugo Strange, and Detective Harvey Bullock. Thank you all for attending today.
Why, thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
To begin, I would like for each of you to give a brief synopsis of what your personal experiences are with the Batman. Let's start with you, Mr. Cobblepot. I think it goes without saying that you are one of Gotham's most active citizens. You've contributed to countless charities and have created millions of jobs. So why do you believe that the Batman has so vigorously attacked you?
It's clear to me that the Batman is a troubled individual. He's chosen to step out of the normal social contract, and as a result thinks he is free to do whatever he chooses. I think in his mind, he can't accept that someone doesn't need to resort to extreme measures to effect change. To him, I am an aberration.
Boy, you can say that again.
Detective Bullock, you've been part of the GCPD for 15 years. You offer a unique perspective of what the police did before and after the appearance of the Batman.
It ain't a complicated matter. This Batman is a freak of nature. Things used to be about the police doing their job, catching crooks and protecting the good people of Gotham City. But when this nutty freak of nature burst onto the scene, everything got muddled. Ain't no two ways about it. Now we gotta go around chasing after crazy people who pop out of the woodwork more than mushrooms do. And we got a guy dressed like a freak of nature who thinks he can do our job better than we do. I tell you, it's complete chaos every time we get called to the crime scene. We gotta turn it into a circus because we don't know what's the real clue and what's just a crazy hunch that's on this bat's head.
Do you think any other police officers share your views?
Of course there is. More than half the force is sick and tired of some nut trying to do our job.
Developing that sentiment, Mr. Dent, what are your views on the Batman and your legal opinion?
I think that it has become clear that we as a city and society need to make a conscientious decision on the matter. On the one hand, we have a set of rules and standards that people need to adhere to. We call them the laws. For the most part, they've worked for the longest of times. Sure, we have some people who step outside of the laws. We call them criminals, but we have a due process to deal with them and figure out a way to rehabilitate them. On the other hand, we have an individual who has decided for whatever reason that the system doesn't work and has chosen to act outside of the law. We could take this matter one of two ways. We could say that this person has to adhere to all laws and needs to be arrested. Alternatively, we could also say that the vigilante is helping to address problems that the system can't. I'm not sure what we should do, but it is most definitely a question to ask.
So what I'm getting from you, Dent, is that you're okay with the Batman. What kind of shuck and jive is that?
Now, Detective Bullock, what I'm trying to say is that it is important to understand both sides of the argument and have a civilized discussion before making any rash decisions.
Oh, that's fine and dandy for you. You're safe and sound in your cozy office, reclining in your comfy leather chair, puffing on a big stogie, while me and the boys have to deal with the real danger on the street. We can't have some crazy lawn dressing up taken away from what our job is. What do you think this is, the circus?
Dr. Strange, what about you? You've been rather quiet. Your recent appointment to Arkham Asylum is a direct result of the actions of Batman. What are your thoughts?
I find it amusing how much the Batman has upset the societal balance here in Gotham. One cannot ignore the monsters that have been made by him. He creates these animals, feeds their psychotic tendencies. This is just further proof of the mental instability that the Batman possesses. It's clear to me that he should be in treatment just like the very criminals he apprehends.
The Batmobile rushes through the streets of Gotham. Has the fire department been alerted?
They're already on their way, sir.
What details do you have about the building?
The building has 5 stories, with approximately 25 rooms per floor. Reports are saying that the fire started on the 4th floor and has spread to the 5th. The main concern is that the roof of the building will collapse due to a lack of structural integrity.
If the roof collapses, the whole building could be in danger. The Batmobile comes to a stop outside the building. The fire has consumed the top floors. People's panic voices fill the street. Alfred, activate the thermal imaging program in the cow.
Activating now.
I see 4 individuals trapped on the 4th and 5th floors. Confirm.
Yes, 3 on the 4th floor and 1 on the 5th floor.
I fire my grapple, launching myself towards the 4th floor, and use my cape to gently glide into one of the windows. There they are.
Help! Help us! We're trapped! Help!
Hang on. A large beam blocks my way. Move! Now! Head to the stairs! I drop the beam and follow the people to the stairs. But instead of heading down, I go further up. Reaching the top of the stairs, I rush forward through a large plume of smoke and ash.
Help me! I can't find my mommy!
I reach the little girl. She's hiding behind a small brown couch. Hang on! I grab hold of her. The fire is causing bits of the building to fall all around us, blocking several of the paths. I take a few seconds before spotting another window. I run forward and leap into the cool night air. I use my grapple gun to slow our descent and swing gently to the ground. I find an EMT and hand the girl over. Check this girl! She was on the 5th floor. She may have carbon dioxide poisoning. Before the EMT can say or do anything, I use my grapple to reach an adjacent building.
Batman!
Inside the Batmobile.
Most people don't take the expression out of the frying pan and into the furnace literally. Do you need any medical attention?
No, the suit protected me from the flames.
With that in mind, you may wish to consider heading to Coventry. There have been numerous reports of several armed men unloading weapons near the My Alibi bar.
I'll head there and investigate. Keep me updated.
Of course.
The Batmobile races down the streets. About 5 minutes later, the powerful car comes to a stop in front of a small convenience store. Inside, a bulky man in a black ski mask points a pistol at the old man behind the counter.
All the money! Come on, move!
Look, I'm doing it. Just please, don't shoot. You don't need to wave that thing around. Just stay calm, son.
Don't call me son! Just hand the money over, old man.
The owner drops the bag and stares at the robber.
I'm just going to pick up the bag.
Yeah, right. Forget this! Batman!
The thug fires at me, but I duck out of the way, closing the distance between him and I. I punch him and use my handcuffs to lock his hands behind him. You all right?
I'm fine. What about him?
Unconscious.
Leave me alone, you freak.
The owner points his gun at me. Put the gun down.
I'm not the bad guy. You're the one on the news. You're the one who kills people.
I knock it away. Don't believe everything you hear. Now call the police. I walk off. Glass crunches underneath my boot. Getting into the Batmobile, I turn the car on and rush off. 30 minutes later, in a narrow alley outside the My Alibi bar, the Batmobile quietly drives forward before going completely silent. I leap out and use a pair of small binoculars to observe the men in front of the bar.
I seem to remember you being much faster in the past.
I had a detour. Your information was good. There are 3 men in the front, and 6 more taking trips in and out with large crates. I can't see what's in the crates, though.
And what of the men? Do you recognize them?
No one in particular. But they're wearing tuxedos.
The Penguin's men?
Yes.
Should you stop them before they get away?
Given what happened before, I'm going to take my time.
Hurry up, we're sitting ducks.
We're moving as fast as we can.
One of the crates the men are carrying falls and cracks open. There are several food packages, along with large assault weapons. A false bottom! That's how Cobblepot hides the weapons.
He could have had the police open every single crate, and they would have never been able to find anything but general goods.
You idiot.
I'm sorry, it just slipped.
Stop arguing and pick up the merchandise. We don't need anyone getting a good view.
Too late!
The Batman!
The Batman!
The goons manage to fire a few shots, but they're wild, scattered, and I can easily dodge them. I throw 3 batarangs that clang against the guns. The men drop their weapons. Without their weapons, a quick fight ensues. I shift from attacker to attacker. I dodge most of the blows, and am able to land several attacks that incapacitate the 3 guards. Just as this battle ends, the remaining 6 guards run out of the bar, accompanied by 3 men wearing leather jackets.
Well, if it ain't the Batman. Boys, we got ourselves a dangerous criminal on our hands.
We do?
Of course. Haven't you heard the news? He's a regular psychopath, a nutter. Whole city's trying to draw him out so we can take our civic duty upon ourselves and beat the life out of him. Thank goodness there are so many upstanding citizens like us. And then there's one of you. You know what to do, boy.
A batarang slams into the side of the thug's face. Batgirl lands gracefully beside me.
Thought you could use some help.
Where's Nightwing?
Upper East Side, gunman in an apartment.
You should be with him. I had it under control.
Sure you did. But now it'll be fun.
The 2 of us take on the 9 goons who rush forward. In perfect sync, Batgirl and I are able to handle each of them. Like a well-choreographed routine, effortlessly each thug is knocked out. Batgirl dodges to the side, giving me the perfect opportunity to swipe the thug off his feet. One of the thugs rushes towards me. I duck out of the way as Batgirl launches from a handstand over me into the thug's chest. She kicks off and flips through the air, landing perfectly. The 2 of us stand side by side, ready to fight the last goon.
Please, I give up.
You're coming with me. I shoot forward, dragging the man by his collar to a nearby alley where the Batmobile is sitting. Batgirl handcuffs the remaining thugs.
What are you gonna do with me? Please, no!
I slam the goon into a brick wall and hold him suspended above the ground. You and your friends have caused me a lot of trouble. I want your boss. Where does Cobblepot stockpile his weapons?
I can't tell you that. He'll kill me. He owns this town.
And what makes you think I won't? I throw him into the opposite wall. Batgirl rushes towards me.
What are you doing?
I'm handling it.
He's going to kill me. You've got to help me.
No one can help you but yourself. Where is the storage facility that Cobblepot's using?
You don't know what he's like. He's in everything. He's everywhere. He's a spider at the center of a massive web. With one string, he can do anything.
Grabbing the man again, I slam him into the ground. I put my boot on his chest, holding him in place. Pressing a button on my utility belt causes the Batmobile to stir to life. It drives forward. The right front tire comes within a foot of the goon's head. Wrong answer! I won't ask again. Where is it?
You're out of your mind. I can't. Stop him. Do something.
Batman, there has to be another way.
Not anymore. Pressing another button on my utility belt causes the Batmobile to rush forward. It comes to a stop a fraction of an inch from the goon's face.
Ah! Oh God, please don't. I don't know anything. Please.
I'm stopping this now.
Without turning to look, I fire 2 tethers that go across Batgirl's body, pinning her to the opposite wall. I press the button on my belt, causing the car to creep forward as the sound of the engine thunders in the alley.
No, please. Ah!
Stop! You don't have to do this. You are better than this.
Tell me where they are! Now!
It's in Bristol, all right? Warehouse 21. It's all there. Just please don't kill me.
I punch the guard, knocking him unconscious and moving him out of the way of the Batmobile. I remove the tethers holding Batgirl in place. Now released, she smacks me across the face.
Are you out of your mind? You could have killed him. What is wrong with you? This is insane. You know it's wrong. If he had moved or you twitched, he'd be dead.
I was in control.
No, you weren't. You were cold. It was like there wasn't anyone behind your eyes.
I'm not debating this with you. I don't have time.
We have this out right here, right now, or I quit.
The Penguin's threatening millions of innocent lives. The rules have changed. If the entire city wants to fear me, then I'll give them something to be afraid of.
That's not who you are. That's not who the Batman is. You're a symbol that even the most powerful crime lord or scum of the earth can't always get what he wants.
I tried it that way, and the Penguin turned the whole city against me.
Then prove him wrong. Show him that you can bring down crime. Make the criminals fear you, but not because you're as deranged as them. Show them that justice can have teeth too. Show the city that these criminals only have power when people give into their fear. Don't feed into their fears.
I have to go. I have to tell the commissioner about the warehouse. I'll have Alfred call the police to pick these thugs up.
Good.
The clock tower near the Diamond District. Jim Gordon stands waiting quietly. His long, dark tan coat flutters briefly in the light breeze. Jim, have your men found the warehouse?
We found it. It was filled with weapons, drugs, and stolen goods.
Any links to Cobblepot?
No, at least not directly. There were a few documents that implicated individuals in several companies in Gotham. We'll follow them up, see where they take us.
It's a start.
For what it's worth, Batman, I never wanted to go along with the mayor and the DA's plan. I know that what you mean to this city. I know how important you are.
I have to convince the entire city.
You did it before. You can do it again. Officially, the police are still required to arrest you on sight.
I can take it.
I'm sorry for all this. I hope one day things can go back to the way that they used to be.
I'd rather the city not need me at all.
I suppose you're right. You know, I forget sometimes how refreshing a good rain feels. It like takes away all the bad smells. Sometimes I just close my eyes and listen to the rain and forget about everything else. Batman?
Cobblepot leaves the Gotham City News studio. He's the only person in the dimly lit parking lot. His large umbrella shields him from the rain. It's not over, Penguin.
Oh, Batman, I see you're still sulking about. I imagine that will soon be a thing of the past, given the stance of the police.
I know you were involved with Crane.
Involved? Not quite. I may have seen a few funds moved around to help benefit the experiments of an ambitious doctor, but I am, after all, a legitimate businessman. What happened after that is certainly not my doing.
I know you staged the attack on your nightclub. Where did you find Sionis?
Oh, terrible, terrible what happened to poor Roman. He always thought he couldn't live up to his parents' legacy. He just couldn't face himself in the mirror anymore. What must drive a man to use the headstone of his parents to make a new face for himself?
So you used him, like you do everyone, to draw attention away from you.
Black Mask is a criminal that needed to be stopped. Can I help it if getting him out of the way did make it easier for me to open new establishments?
How long do you think you can stay above it all?
I've managed it this long.
I found your warehouse in Bristol.
A minor loss. You won't be able to link anything to me.
Maybe not, but I won't give up. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts.
It really is quite extraordinary, the lengths that you'll go to. Do you really think you can make a difference? This city has been corrupt since it was founded. It will always be that way. No amount of costume vigilantes can change that.
You don't understand. I don't give up. I never let up. You make one mistake, you slip up even once, and I'll be there.
That's one thing we have in common then. We both refuse defeat. Let me warn you that this is only the beginning.
We'll see.
Ah, my dear, you've arrived exactly on schedule. I do apologize for the weather. I know you prefer drier conditions. Do you have the item? Wonderful, simply wonderful. Here is the payment we agreed upon. Now I have another job for you. Are you interested, my dear?
That sounds perfect.
Good, good. This is proving to be a most extraordinary evening.